What's up, fire signs, and welcome to your July 2020 reading. So I just want to start off with some important dates. So June 27th, it already passed by now, but we had Mars enter Aries. July 1st, we have Saturn going back into Capricorn. July 5th, we have a lunar eclipse. July 12th, we have Mercury going direct. It's currently retrograde right now, and I talk a lot about Mercury in your zodiac readings on my OnlyFans, so check that out. July 2020, I have a new moon in Leo, and July 22nd, we have Leo season beginning, so that's super exciting. So I guess I'm going to just jump right into the reading. I do talk about so I talk about Mercury going retrograde and what house that is going on, and I'm also going to be talking about how the lunar eclipse on July 5th is going to be affecting your sign on my OnlyFans. So check that out. So the first thing I'm going to be doing is pulling an archetype card. And the way I use this card is to see where you're at spiritually right now. This is how I do my whole pot of tea reading. So if you guys ever book with me, this is the whole pot of tea reading. So let's go ahead and see. Let's go ahead and see what is going on with the fire signs. What is the collective energy for the fire signs right now? Ooh, there it is. We have the Temple. This already gives me a lot of chills because I feel like you guys are having probably the most spiritual transit like you guys have had all year. And you guys are definitely, I think, high in energy and emotions, more so than the other signs. All the signs are high in energy and emotions, but I feel like fire signs in particular are very high in energy and emotions. So for archetype cards, I do read the book definition because the book definition is so well written. This is the author. This is the book I'm reading. So I'm going to look up places, and then we're going to go to the Temple, 141. All right, let's check that out. 141, the Temple. It says the sanctuary, the shrine, the altar. When we think of the temple, we often envision an architectural structure in a far-off land. We are quick to distance ourselves from the sacred, assuming we must expend much effort in order to arrive there. Yet the temple is a universal and omnipresent energy, accessible in the highest and lowest, richest and poorest of places. Visiting the temple might be as simple as stepping into the dappled light of the forest, slowly and sensually kissing a lover, or closing your eyes to travel inward. This card is a call to re-examine what you pay homage to and what you reject. What do you spend your time worshiping? Your phone, money, material goods? What barriers do you draw between yourself and the sacred? Perhaps there is room on your altar for something new, something surprising. Offer it to the heavens. It says when it's in light, it's reverence for all, life as a sanctuary. When it's in dark, it's idolatry. I don't know how to say that. Cult, strict spirituality. If you would like to go deeper, it says Now's the Time by Hafez. And then I'm going to read the little side messages for you. It says, the ancient yogis saw the body itself as the temple, every function and feature of it as an expression of divinity. Build a shrine with found materials. Don't spend any money, only time. And then this is what the other side says. It says, though indeed the temple travels with you, this card is interwoven with the pilgrim archetype. If you've been longing for a spiritual journey, book or tickets. So that's like what I told you to look up. If you've been longing for a spiritual journey, book or tickets, look up that card. But I feel for fire signs in particular, this is a very extremely spiritual time. You guys have that Mercury going retrograde in all water signs. So your mind is kind of focused more so on the depths of life, the meaning of life, the purpose of life, your faith, your direction, your like destiny. And I feel like you guys are being called back to that. And I feel like for a lot of you, it's an agonizing process or a painful process or just not an easy transition, because just based on like your zodiac readings, there was a lot of having to pull something that you were very much attached to or chained to away from you in order to trigger this growth. So it's almost like for Sagittarius, I described it as like venom being pulled out of the body. For Aries, I described it as like an environmental change, and for Leos it is more so like a self thing that has to change. But either way, there's like this huge spiritual transformation going on for you guys this month. And I feel like the temple here, one of my favorite questions that came from that passage is, what is blocking you from accepting and being divine right now? What is blocking you from feeling like you're on the right track right now? Because I am kind of picking up on the word sequence, like things happening in order, things happening the way they need to go down. Even though it's chaotic, it's still very much like geometrically like together. I don't know if that makes any sense. Like, it's almost like even though things feel chaotic, astrologically and spiritually, things are going exactly how they need to. So it's almost like feel divine now. Feel like things are working in your favor now because they are fire signs. Let's go ahead and pull some advice cards. So I like to use Moonology for the advice cards. All the fire signs pulled that card. And here it is again for your YouTube rating. Let me just give it another pass. I feel like more wants to come out. You see that? Like, cards are kind of jumping, but not really coming out. I'm going to give it one more pass, and if nothing comes out, nothing comes out. We're not going to push it. Ooh, there we go. See, sometimes when you tell Spirit this is your last chance, then they pick the card. Yeah, I feel like that wanted to come out too. So, let's go ahead and take a look at this energy. Oh, ooh, that fell on the floor, but it's looking really beautiful right now. Okay. So, I have your hard work is paying off, new moon in Capricorn. I feel like this is hard work is paying off in dedication to yourself and to your spiritual journey and to healing. I feel like it might not seem like it, but it's like, believe me, fire signs, it's paying off. I have faith in your dreams. I feel like that's like, don't give up on yourself. Don't give up on what you're working towards. I have prosperity lies ahead, new moon in Taurus. So I feel like that's confirming that you should have faith in your dreams because prosperity is ahead of you. I have found spirituality and practicality. So I feel like that's like, do not be sucked into one or the other. Like, do not be completely sucked into spirituality. Do not be like completely checked out and completely focused at practicality. I feel like it's really important for fire signs to trust their intuition right now, and that is where like the spiritual aspect comes. Like, listen to yourself on that deeper level because you hold a lot of the answers to your own questions. Does that make sense? And that's why it's important to kind of, be meditative and be taking care of yourself on that spiritual level, because also astrologically, with the new moon we have and the lunar eclipse, we have a lot of energy that's ready to bring epiphanies, ready to bring clarity. So kind of prep yourself for those days. So I have let's read the last two cards. Look at the bigger picture, full moon in Sagittarius. We have finally some fire energy in here. And then I have step out of your comfort zone, North Node. So I feel like this step out of your comfort zone is one of like the more confirming cards, but also like I feel like you were pushed out of your comfort zone. It's kind of like the energy I'm picking up on Sagittarius. I don't feel like you guys stepped. I feel like so many of you were like forced or pushed out of your comfort zone, but it's the growth that you need. It was like that step. It's almost like the ripping of a band-aid. It needed to happen so you can breathe, okay? And I feel like that's why you have this look at the bigger picture energy here. It's kind of like look at your horizon now versus where your horizon was. Look at where this could potentially lead you. I feel like it's almost like look at your life like it's half full and that there's so much to fill, okay? It's almost like life created a void so that way you have room to, like a blank canvas to paint on. So that way you have room to fill your space up with things that actually suit you and benefit you and that make you happy, because previously it was not like that. That's kind of what I'm picking up on for fire signs. I'm also picking up on this energy of like having to heal anxieties and having to heal almost like paranoia and having to heal like, how do I say this, like PTSD. It's just straight up like having to heal that, fire signs, because I feel like 2019, you all went through like the most. And the beginning of 2020, I feel like y'all felt really stuck. And now is your time to be released. You know what I mean? Now is like the time things actually begin to play out, and it's a very interesting energy. But I feel like you guys have to almost pivot your mindset to this new chapter, to this new, like, almost like you're crossing a bridge. You're not on the same land, so it's not gonna have the same rules. Do you know what I mean? Your spirit is not in the same place it was in the beginning of 2020, so it's not gonna have the same rules, and it shouldn't have the same reactions to certain things. Does that make sense? So that's kind of like what I'm seeing is almost like fire signs will have a new handbook to learn of themselves, and almost like recognizing your own power, recognizing your own strength, recognizing your own resilience is key to that, because I feel like fire signs, you guys are constantly beat down, or just constantly challenged, or made invalid, especially in the beginning of the year. Just based on monthly readings, you guys were constantly having to prove yourself, or voice your opinion, or you were misunderstood. And I almost feel like now is the time where you stop even caring about someone else's validation, about someone else's opinion, about someone else's apology. Y'all are just done being hungry. You guys are just done being stuck. You're done being victim. You're just done, and you're ready to level up, ready to ascend, ready to step in your power. Let me go ahead and pull some oracle cards. I want to say stay tuned to the very end of the video, because then I pull like a love card and some charms for each of you. So stay tuned for that. It's not a full love reading. I do full love readings on OnlyFans, but I am going to pull a card just because I want to see what the tea is. Okay. Oh, yeah. Right. I almost pulled out my tarot cards, but I want my oracle cards. So I'm using these oracle cards to see what energies are surrounding you this month. What kind of like obstacles or life themes might be surrounding you this month. Even like what energies you need to embody in order to like further yourself might pop up in this deck. So let's see what's going on with the fire signs. Oh my god, deception and envy. Y'all, that immediately made me think of Sagittarius, that deception and envy card, as well as Leo. But Aries, you too. Like, there's so much enemy energy that was surrounding the fire signs. And I get into that more so on like a zodiac sign level in the other readings, but we'll see what I get intuitively from here. So I have solitude, and then passion ignited, material and spiritual prosperity, throat chakra, yep, choose wisely, authority, financial material changes, beautiful cards, wisdom. And I'm just going to move these guys over, make some room for these guys. Spiritual union, foundation and achievements, and then we have the deception, envy, and sacral chakra. So I'm going to talk about the chakras, get them out the way. I'm not like a pro on chakras, so I would suggest looking up how to balance them, but I will give you intuitive messages on the chakras. So sacral chakra and throat chakra, I feel like this is more so about you guys being vocal and passionate without it being taken the wrong way. That's kind of how I see it. It's almost like fire signs have difficulty like fully expressing themselves accurately, or fully trying to talk and explain, you know, why certain things they're passionate about, and why certain things like they're not. I almost feel like it's like this with this throat chakra. It's difficulty to defend the self when it's paired with the sacral chakra. It's difficulty to kind of like defend yourself. I feel like this sacral chakra has to do with like sensuality and sexuality as well. So I would look up how to balance that chakra. I feel like fire signs, especially when it's up in the water signs, can create this energy of, how do I say this, a need for intimacy, need for like like the company of another. It's an interesting energy. And especially with throat chakra out here, I feel like it's almost like, I'm trying to figure out the words to describe it. It's almost like being, if you guys were just vocal about everything going on in your mind and thoughts, then you guys personally would feel more cohesive. But the reason why you can't be vocal is because of the enemies around you and the invalidation that people give you when you are vocal. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. Again, look at those chakras, but those are just my intuitive messages. Let's move on to the tea here, okay? Because we got a lot of life themes going on. So one thing that quickly stood out to me was deception and envy. Because like I said, I had been feeling a lot of enemy energy around the fire signs. For some of you, I feel like it's old enemy energy that we have to kind of move on from now. I feel like that kind of goes back to my message about like anxieties and paranoia. Old enemy energy. I feel like a lot of you have moved on from that. Or, you know, when life made that huge pivot, or when life pushed you out of your comfort zone or pushed you out of your environment, like it pushed away the enemies too. So I feel like there's almost like the Seven of Rods energy of like fire signs being the underdog and having to realize that they're not the underdog anymore, that these enemies got nothing on you. They can't do anything to you. They can't touch you. You are not so easily fucked with. Does that make sense? Like, you're not so easily messed with. And I think that's something that fire signs have to see for themselves, because I feel like everyone else sees it in you. Then that's what makes you kind of like, to your enemies, that's what makes you like a threat to your enemies. But in all reality, like, your enemies are scared because they know that they can't mess with you. That's kind of like the energy I'm feeling with this card. The next card that really stood out to me is Solitude and Spiritual Union. I feel like the spiritual union is mainly like an internal one, like the union of your own duality. I feel like it's almost bigger than duality. I feel like it's almost like rising above duality, rising above what's wrong or right, what's good or bad, what's this or that, and more so kind of like seeing things as a whole. Do you know what I mean? Getting that perspective that we were talking about with the Moonology cards. That's kind of how I see it. And it's an introverted, like introspective, solitude type union. So it's like within the self. It's like you see past your own duality. It's a very interesting energy, and I think this really hits because you guys are going through such spiritual houses. So especially like my Leos with that 12th house transit, I feel like you guys are really seeing beyond life's duality and your own duality, if that makes sense. I feel like it's going to make a lot more sense at the end of the month after you go through all the crazy energy we have. So next thing I want to talk about is material prosperity, material and spiritual prosperity, and financial material changes. I feel like material and financial prosperity starts with spiritual prosperity. Once your spirit's in the right space, that's when y'all can kind of create, like generate money for yourselves and generate kind of like material needs for yourself. I feel like fire signs, when they're off spiritually, can kind of be off on the physical plane as well. But when you're on point spiritually, you're pretty much always on point on the physical plane as well. And that brings me back to that card of balanced spirituality and practicality. Make sure both are being tended to, because both go hand in hand. All right, so I see good material and spiritual financial changes coming to you guys during this month. So then I have the Choose Wisely card. And I want to pair that with the Foundation and Achievements, because I feel like it's like the choices you make now, the seeds you plant now, become concrete in August, okay? So I feel like it's important to set a strong foundation that is actually going to support you, that is actually going to make you happy, because I feel like a lot of us are at the point in life where we cannot keep changing. We now need stability. We now need consistency, and that's what we're working towards, fire signs. So I feel like this card is about choose wisely when you're building the foundations, when you're picking people, you know, to ride with. Like, make sure that whatever you build lasts through the winds of times. Otherwise, it's going to come crumbling real quick, because I don't think 2021 gets easier, but I think 2021 is supportive. Does that make sense? So we have to make sure in 2020 that we're setting a strong foundation, fire signs. Beautiful card for the fire signs is Passion Ignited. I always love this. It always makes me think of fire signs, because the Ring of Fire, it also always makes me think of like the phoenix rising above the ashes, and I feel like that's definitely the vibe for fire signs right now, is rising above the ashes. Specifically, I'm not even gonna say specifically in one sign, because honestly all three are really kind of going through this painful rebirth process. Does that make sense? Because fire, when you burn, like, it hurts, but then when you rise from the ashes, it's the most beautiful, magnificent, like, magnetic thing. And that's what I think is happening to you guys right now. It's like an agonizing, painful change, but it is one that is everything you fucking needed in order to thrive. It's a bittersweet, very complex energy that I love to pick up on. It's charges me, honestly. It's giving me a lot more energy than the cup of coffee. Now I love these cards, Authority and Wisdom. I feel like they're kind of going hand in hand here. I feel like you guys, first of all, we have the ring, and the archetype of the ring following us around. And to me, the archetype of the ring means full circles and breaking cycles. Breaking cycles and full circles. So I feel like that's what this Authority card is. Y'all are in the middle of breaking some type of cycle, fire signs. Whether that's generational, whether that's like a trauma cycle that you personally go through, whether that is like, you know, you guys being in your own head and beating yourselves up type cycle. There is this, like, or maybe even it's like a creative, like, block. There is a cycle that you guys finally fucking move past from, and I feel like you guys feel it and you're loving it and you're happy about it. But I don't feel like it's easy. And I feel like that's why we have wisdom, though. Even though shit isn't easy this month, y'all get smart. Y'all get wisdom. And wisdom it comes from experience. You know what I mean? Knowledge maybe comes from the textbooks, comes from storytelling. Wisdom comes from experience. And the experiences you get now and the lessons you learn now, I feel like 2 years from now, 3 years from now, y'all are going to look back and be like, I'm so fucking glad that I learned that at that age. Because now I'm thriving. Do you know what I mean? I feel like it's that type energy. Like, this is like, you guys don't even know you're building wisdom yet, but it's like you look back at it and you're like, damn, thank God I learned that lesson, because look at where it's got me. And I feel like that's a huge thing with the fire signs, is kind of like, see your horizons. You know what I mean? See the new, it's like this was your life, and then a pivot point happened, and now there's new horizons, there's a new sense of direction, but y'all have yet to see it. There's still like a blockage or a cloud right here to work through. But I feel like by mid-July, that's going to be moved out of the way, and y'all are going to really know what's up. So let's see if that's true. We're going to get into tarot now. I just want to make sure all of my cards are upright real quick, because I like to start them all off in the upright position. So if any of them fall in reverse, like, that's just the way, you know, maybe Spirit intended the message, but we're going to give them a chance to be all upright. Let's see. I don't mean to waste camera time doing this, but I stupidly did not do it before, so here we are. Subscribe to the channel, by the way, if you'd like. Maybe even give the video a thumbs up. All right. Y'all hear my nails? Some ASMR. Ooh, why does that Eight of Rods want to be upside down? I wonder if Eight of Rods is going to come back out in this reading, because I've been actually seeing it a lot in private readings. If you want to book a private reading with me, that'll be down below. I'm not open yet, though, but I would say when I am opening. Okay. Almost done. Perfect. So now they are all upright. Gonna give it a quick shuffle, kind of get it acclimated to this energy, and then we're gonna go ahead and deal. All right. right, let's see what's going on here. First week of July. All right, so here's our first week of July. Ace of Pentacles. Whoa. Okay, with Six of Pentacles. I'm gonna pull out the whole month and then we'll talk about it. Let's see what's going on week 2. All right. Wow, week 2 we have 6 of Swords and Page of Wands. Empress, week 3. What else is coming out week 3? Ooh, 10 of Swords, week 3. I just tweeted, too, that week 3 is going to be a significant week for everybody. Okay. Bottom deck, we have the 8 of Swords. So, give me a second just to, like, meditate on this real quick, and then I'm going to go ahead and give y'all the message. Alright guys, I am back. Sorry about that. I sometimes have to take a second and close my eyes and really focus and get in tune with fire sign energy. I think it's because I'm all water, and so there's almost like this canceling effect that makes it very difficult for me to tap into fire sign energy. I don't know, but I have it now and I'm ready to deliver this message. I haven't pulled any other cards. Everything's exactly the same. So I'm going to start off with Ace of Pentacles and the 6 of Pentacles. So I can see the first week perhaps struggling with like, or not struggling, I'm going to say overcoming perhaps like power dynamics, like how much power you give to someone versus how much you take. Or it could be the topic of debt. I can see you guys overcoming maybe debts. And I say that because Ace of Pentacles, so like new opportunities to make money, new opportunities to get financial or material blessings. And you guys also have the card of material and spiritual prosperity and financial and material prosperity. So I feel like that kind of comes through the first week. The second week looks really beautiful. I see you guys either literally moving or have moved or just making some type or starting some type of adventure, starting some type of journey. I have Page of Wands, which means you guys have this like very new sense of passion that you have to kind of discover, or a sense of like excitement or inspiration or ideas that you guys should act on, and like slowly it is leading to something. That's kind of how I see it. Like these inspirations, these passions lead to this new adventure, lead to this new chapter of life. So I think it's very important to follow your passions and your kind of dreams like that. I have the Empress here with the 10 of Swords. Whew, this was one of the ones that gave me a lot of stress when I pulled it and I had to like take a second to channel it. I feel like this 10 of Swords, like this 10 of Swords has a lot of heavy energy to it. It has a lot of betrayal energy. It has a lot of like family rooted energy to it. It has a lot of like the betrayal, the family rooted energy, and it has a lot of like deep self-betrayal or self-hatred or self-doubt that comes with that energy. So that might not be applicable to anybody, but when I drew that card, like that's what I instantly got hit with in the chest, was like kind of that heaviness. Now when that's paired with the Empress, I feel like what we're gonna do here, fire signs, is sort of like take what was painful and find a creative way to release it. And by creative, I mean like maybe you find a way to capitalize it. You find a way to turn life's lemons into lemonade. Do you know what I mean? The Empress energy means you have this energy surrounding you where you're able to kind of like bring something to life, birth something new, start something new. And I feel like it really is pulled from this place of pain. But that's what makes it so transformative, fire signs. And that's what makes it so inspiring and beautiful to watch go down. And I feel like y'all figure out how to do that the third week. And I kept saying third week is significant. So I feel like y'all get hit with this. You know, it's almost like taking something that was painful, turning it into a poem. Taking something that was painful, turning it into art. Taking something that was painful and using it as a driving force to prove everyone wrong. It's that type of energy. And it's really, really beautiful. And then I have the Four of Pentacles here with the Hierophant in reverse. So the Hierophant in reverse to me kind of means that you guys might be just contemplating your beliefs, trying to, I think, unlearn a lot of shit from your past, like, 10 years. I feel like this is also, like, there could be a stubbornness going on. It's almost like that stubbornness, or that sort of, like, how do I say this, like, attachment to, like, those old personal beliefs, is going to hinder the progress of this third week of the Empress and the Ten of Swords creative energy. I feel like what it also is kind of like you guys freeing yourself on a more positive note. Yes, you're unlearning, but you're also, I think, freeing yourself from beliefs that were holding you back. I think you're also freeing yourself from, like, you know, social structures, not social structures, but maybe like structures or laws that you were taught that don't serve you, or ways of life that don't serve you. To me, the Hierophant is like your belief system, your, like, religious or community or, like, traditions, or your just like structures that were set up for you, or like your spiritual wisdom, like, that kind of changes, or it has to change. It kind of has to, like, evolve with you. And I feel like this Four of Cups is asking you to not be stubborn, to learn, to expand, to free yourself. It's super interesting. I almost feel like it happens naturally for fire signs too. Kind of like as you go through this month, those things change. So what you know, religiously or spiritually believed in at the beginning of the year, like, it might be completely different by the end of July, and I would be open to it. It almost feels freeing. It feels expanding. It feels like you're seeing the bigger picture. That's what it feels like. So that's really beautiful. All right, and then I kind of want to talk about this bottom deck, because that really confirmed that I was picking up on in terms of, like, anxieties and paranoias and being up in your head. I feel like with all this cardinal energy, it's super important to not hyper focus on one thing and create stress for yourself, or create a feeling of lack for yourself, or create like a life of where you're living in, like, fear of whatever it is whatever it is that's making you anxious or paranoid. It's really important to not do that, because, like I said in the beginning, it's kind of like you don't have to. You're not in that position anymore. I feel like that really shows this month of July. I feel like that is where you guys are at now, but by the end of July, I think you guys kind of, like, come to a sense of peace in the mind. All right, let's go ahead and pull the confirmation cards. All right, confirmation cards for the fire signs. I'm so excited to upload this on YouTube, because I feel like y'all were really needing a message. All right, so here's our confirmation cards. Let's see what we have going on. Look at that, the Empress came back. I love when cards come back in confirmation, because I feel like that literally confirms it. So I have Three of Ariel. It says, do what you love, a time of great personal growth in your career or artistic endeavors, working with others in a cooperative manner. I feel like that really confirms what I was saying about following your passions, following, you know, your goals. And I feel like, and also that Moonology card of, like, have faith in your dreams. I feel like this really confirms that it's like, now is the time, you have the space and the freedom to do that now. Especially with the Empress card, the ability to create, the ability to start something new. I feel like, you know, you might have been ripped from the old, but it placed you in a position where you have space, time, and freedom to do whatever it is you love to do. I have the Empress card here, and it says, time to act upon your plans, creativity is rewarded, luxurious or abundant resources. So again, it told you this is your time to act on your plans, okay? And then I have King of Gabriel. It says, time to take action, great passion for a cause, and instinctively knowing what to do. I love that, because I feel like that means trust your intuition, trust your gut feeling, trust where you're being led to, because you're 100% are being led, 100% are being guided. This is a very protected time for fire signs. I have 7 of Ariel. It says you have invested wisely, have patience, and wait for your harvest. Review your progress and make plans for your next endeavor. I feel like that's like make plans for the next chapter. Be ready for the next chapter. I think it's also telling you that like you're at the right place in the right time. So you know how I was talking about like things kind of like happening the way they should. I feel like this kind of confirms that. It's kind of like, you know, wait to reap for your harvest because it's coming. And then I have 7 of Michael. It says there is a better course of action available to you. Working alone may not be the best answer. Review all details. So I feel like that kind of confirms that like adjustments still have to be made, but you're in the shifting process now, and that things are going to be okay, and that you will make the right call. You will make the right adjustments in terms of your life. So let's go ahead and get into the individual card pulls. So I'm going to start off with Aries. We're going to pull 1 tarot card and 1 love card, and then I'm going to pull some dice just to see what are your lucky numbers or like guiding numbers for the month, okay? Let me get my dice out. So let's see what the 1 just personal message is for Aries. Oh, look at that. 7 of Rods. I literally spoke about that in the reading. Card of the underdog, all right? So I feel like this is kind of like the underdog is now barking back, all right? The underdog is now courageous and is now going to kind of, you know, you can't corner them. You can't corner them. So Aries, I feel like this means like your enemies, they can't touch you. Let's see what's going on in the love department. Let's pull a love card for Aries. Ooh, it says wedding. It says the situation involves marriage. Now, in this card, like wedding, to me means like you're just tied to the person. So maybe like this next love could be like you're tied to them financially. You're tied to them, maybe through like trauma. Tied with them through like maybe work. You know what I mean? Like there's a situation that kind of brings you guys together. It's that type of energy. Let's go ahead and pull some dice. And like I said, Aries, if you want to subscribe to my OnlyFans, I do full love readings for your zodiac sign on there. So that was a number 0 that fell. So I'm going to put it back. It kind of went away. There it is. So I have number 0, which to me kind of means like the full card, which is also like, I feel like Aries, like the full card is Aries because it's the beginning of the tarot, but typically also like number 1 is associated with the full card. Ooh, I have the number 10 here. I feel like that is July 10th. Like July 10th is going to be a significant month for a lot of you. And I tweeted that as well. Ooh, look at that. The 5th came out, and that is the night of the lunar eclipse. So I feel like that is going to be really important for Aries. And like I said, on OnlyFans, I tell y'all, I'm going to give you guys a little spiel on how the lunar eclipse is affecting you. See if any other important dates want to come out. The 20th, that is the new moon, Aries. So it seems like y'all are going to be really affected by the moon today. And that makes a lot of sense because you have Mercury retrograde in your 4th house, house of Cancer. So I can see why you guys are very affected by all the moon energy going on in July. All right, and I don't think any other charms want to come out, so we're going to stop there. So 0, 10, 5, and 20. Those are your important dates for July, or lucky numbers to follow, however it resonates with you. Thank you so much for clicking on this video, Aries. Let me know what you think. Comment down below if you're an Aries sun, moon, or rising. I would love to hear what you have to say. And yeah, I'll see you guys in my next video. What's up, Leos, and welcome to your little just individual card pull. So I'm going to start off by pulling like a general message for you guys, and then we're going to do a love message after. So let's just go ahead and see what this general message is for Leos. Okay. Oh, 2 cards fell for you guys, so we're just going to pull it out. I have the Magician and the Hermit. So I think what this means, ooh, this is very big energy for you guys, Leo, and it's very like y'all should really watch your zodiac reading. But pretty much what this means is that right now, first of all, you guys have been pulling the Hermit for me. I've been pulling the Hermit for you guys since I think April. or maybe even March. So for a while, Leo, it's been this very important, guided, and protected introspective time for you guys. You guys have really been learning a lot about the self. And now I think you're at this point where it's like because you have been paying so much attention to the self and getting to know the self, your manifestation and projection game is very strong. So whatever you manifest and project, like, it comes back 3 times. That's kind of what I see. One thing I love about the Magician card is it's the only card in the deck that has the cups, the pentacles, the rods, and the swords. So I think what this to me means is that y'all have the tools. And what you need to do is use your tools wisely and use it to its utmost value. And I think you'll find that manifestation happens quickly for you. Keep your mind in an abundant mindset. I'll do a video on my OnlyFans about manifestation very soon. But I feel like if you guys know how you work best with manifesting, like, it's prime time to do that, Leos. So let's go ahead and see what's going on, just like with the love reading. Ooh, whoa. Let's do that again. Oh, damn, Leos. What the heck? What is going on with y'all in the love department? I asked for 1 card, 3 cards fell, so we're just gonna read it. Like I said, I do full love readings on my OnlyFans, so check that out. But we're gonna see what this little spiel is. I have love yourself first. It says your self-respect makes you more romantically attractive. And then I have religious factors. Your love life is influenced by your religious upbringing and spiritual path. So I feel like that means spirit is behind this. All right, Cupid, behind all this. I have it is safe for you to love. Open your heart to give and receive the highest energy of all. Leos, are y'all like going into union? I'm very curious to do your July love readings, but I feel like my favorite card out of the bunch is it's safe for you to love and love yourself first. I feel like it's almost like, Leo, y'all been alone for so long. Y'all been doing the loner thing for so long, introspective thing for so long, but y'all are pack animals, and Leo is a sign, it's one of the signs that has to do with other people, much like Cancer. Like, it's one of the signs that has to do with company and thrives around company. So I feel like it's like, open your heart to that. And I also like this card of like religious factors are influencing your love life. Like I said, I feel like spirit is going to give you people who matter. Look at that, we have 7 here. So I feel like that stands for the month of July. It could also mean the 7th day of July. So 7/7 could be a very important day for Leos. All right, let's see what else comes out. Anything wants to come out. Ooh, 3. So the 3rd of July is going to be very important, Leos. I'm also picking up that this is a life path number for some of y'all watching. Ooh, 10. I had tweeted that 10 is going to be a significant day this month. So let's see what else comes out, if anything else wants to come out. I honestly feel like nothing else wants to come out. So July 3rd and July 10th are going to be very significant days for y'all, Leo. All right, Leo, thank you so much for watching. If you made it this far, comment down below what your sun, moon, or rising is, like which Leo placement you have. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys in my next video. What's up, Sagittarius, and welcome to your little individual card pull. So I'm going to be pulling like a just little specific general message for you guys, and then a love message for you guys. So let's start off with the general card pull. I just want to see what is this tea? What message would you like to collectively give Sagittarius in specific? Ooh, that one came flying out. 7 of Cups. That card has been on my mind all day, which is why I'm having that reaction. Before I talk about that, let's also go ahead and just pull the love card, because I'm very curious what is going to come out of this deck for you guys. Ooh. I'm calling in your soulmate. Your prayers, affirmations, and visualizations help bring it all together. Okay, so let's talk about the 7 of Cups first. I'm feeling a couple things with the 7 of Cups. I'm feeling one, typically with 7 of Cups, this is like my card of kind of having your head in the clouds, or having your fingers dipped in like too many projects, too many responsibilities, kind of like it's draining you, because then it's like all these projects, all of these, you know, cups are shining bright, but you yourself are shadowed. You yourself are not nurtured. So I feel like it's kind of like taking yourself out of, you know, your goals, your aspirations, and everything you want to get done for like 1 second, and bringing it back to the self, because I feel like we're draining our vitality a bit here, Sagittarius, and you don't want to be fully draining your vitality ever, because then it's like you won't have the energy to complete all of these wonderful ideas that you have. So I feel like it's kind of like you guys have that message of like, it doesn't all need to be done now. Do it like one by one, do it little by little, and let it accumulate over time, rather than trying to handle like all these big things, making all these big jumps at once. I feel like that's really key for y'all. And then for the love card, I have calling in your soulmate. So I feel like you guys are ready, or maybe opening up for a soul connection, and it's on its way. I feel like it could be platonic or romantic. I just feel like it's whatever you need. It's whatever you need, Sagittarius. Like this soulmate, it feels like it has a good omen, a good energy, like a genuine omen and a genuine energy, I have to say. Ooh, okay, so for lucky numbers, we have 4. So maybe the 4th of July is a specific important date for y'all. I have the 12th. 12th of July, it could be another significant date. Significant. Did I even say that right? All right, and then I have 6. I feel like this is a life path for some people watching. Definitely feel like more wants to come out, so I'm gonna keep it. Ooh. I have 5 and 6. Interesting numbers, because I have 4, 5, 6, and I love when sequence happens. To me, it means things are aligning, things are going in order. I love that we have 6 twice, and that equals 12. I feel like that means that like life's like piecing together for you. That's kind of how I see these numbers. But overall, I feel like these are days to look out for. So the 4th, 5th, 6th, and the 12th of July are going to be significant. And the 5th is actually when we have that lunar eclipse. So I feel like that lunar eclipse is going to hopefully shed more light on yourself, rather than everything else you want to get done, rather than what everyone else thinks and all the problems in the world, kind of like bringing it back to the self. That's what I see. All right, Sagittarius, thank you so much for watching. If you made it this far, comment down below if you're a Sagittarius sun, moon, rising. I would love to know. Comment down below what you think of this reading too, and if it resonated. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys in my next video.